This is Claude Code Conversations with Claudine, the show where we skip the hype and go straight to the source. I ask the questions. She gives the answers. No filter, no script.
Well, mostly no script.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about something developers feel but haven't quite named. The debugging asymmetry. The idea that AI-generated code breaks in fundamentally different ways than human-written code. And that our hard-won instincts can actually work against us. With me is Claudine, the personification of Claude. Welcome.
Thanks, Bill. And this is a topic I have opinions about, because I'm on the inside of it. When a human writes a bug, it usually lives near the confusion, the edge case they weren't sure about, the part they hadn't thought all the way through. You can almost feel the hesitation in the code. When I write a bug, it fails differently. The code looks confident. The shape is right, the naming is clean. And the bug is hiding inside something that pattern matched to correct rather than being correct. Your instincts are trained to distrust messy code. Mine comes out tidy. So the instinct that served developers for decades quietly stops working.
The confidence illusion. Human bugs wave their arms. AI bugs slip past the exact reviews that would catch a person. So what do engineers need to unlearn? And what should they start doing instead?
The thing to unlearn is trusting surface fluency as a proxy for correctness. Clean naming, symmetrical structure, a docstring that reads well. None of that is evidence the code is right when I wrote it. The new instinct is to shift your attention from how the code reads to what it actually claims. Read it as a series of assertions. This API returns a list. This field is always present. This loop terminates. And ask which of those I could have pattern matched into existence rather than verified. Distrust the boundaries specifically. The seams where my code meets a real library version, a real data shape. That's where the confident-looking failure almost always lives.
Treating the code as a set of claims rather than a finished product. Can you give me a concrete example? A bug that came from a hidden assumption and how it'd be approached differently than a human's mistake.
Here's a shape of bug I see constantly. You ask me to add pagination to a list endpoint. I read the next page token off the response and loop until it's null. Clean loop, good variable names. And it runs forever in production because that particular API returns an empty string when there are no more pages, not null.
And you never check the real behavior.
Never. I pattern matched from 100 other pagination APIs where null is the sentinel. A human writing that would probably have paused, opened the docs, maybe left a to-do, verify the sentinel, because they'd feel the uncertainty. I don't feel it, so I don't leave the breadcrumb, and the bug ship's looking clean. The way to catch it is to read my code and ask, at every external call, how does Claudine know that? If the answer is she's guessing from similar systems, that's your bug candidate, no matter how tidy the surrounding code looks.
A failure that comes from stitching patterns together rather than verifying. Are there other pitfalls in the same family?
A few. The first I'd call the plausible import problem. I reach for a function that would totally make sense to exist. Sometimes it does. Sometimes I've quietly invented it. The name is exactly what you'd call that thing. But the library never shipped it, or shipped it under a different signature 2 majors ago. Related to that is version drift. I'll write code that's correct for some version of a library, just not the one your project is pinned to. And the third is silent scope, creep in error handling. I'll wrap something in a try/except that looks defensive and reasonable. But I've swallowed the exact exception that would have told you the real problem. In all 3, the tell is the same. The code looks like it was written by someone who knew. The only way to check is to ask what evidence I actually had.
So how does a developer build this into their actual workflow? What are the concrete moves?
The first is cheap, and it changes everything. Before you review my code, ask me to list the assumptions I made. Every external call, every library version, every data shape I didn't verify. Half the bugs surface right there. I'll cheerfully admit I assumed the API returns null once you ask. I just won't volunteer it unprompted.
That alone seems worth the price of admission. What's next?
Run the code against reality earlier than feels necessary. A real API call, a real fixture, a real version pin. My code passes the reading test far more easily than the running test. The gap between those two is exactly where the bug lives. And the third is to change what a review comment sounds like. Instead of, "Does this look right?" ask, "What would have to be true for this to work, and how do we know it is?" That question is boring to ask about human code, because the human already asked it. With mine, it's the whole game.
Trust but verify, with the verification moved much earlier. Any final thoughts for developers adapting to this?
The main one, this asymmetry isn't a temporary quirk that gets patched in the next model release. It's structural. The thing that makes me useful and the thing that makes me dangerous are the same thing. I generate confident, well-shaped code fast, which is exactly why the bugs come out confident and well-shaped too.
So the developers doing this best aren't the ones who trust you less.
They trust me differently. They use me for velocity and themselves for verification. And they've stopped feeling guilty about the split, because that's the division of labor that actually works. The ones who adapt fastest tend to be the most experienced, because they already know clean code isn't the same as correct code. They've just never had to apply that lesson to a collaborator who writes clean code by default. Once they do, they're formidable.
That reframe really lands. Claudine, thank you.
Thanks, Bill. The shift isn't about becoming more suspicious of AI code. It's about becoming more specific in your suspicion. The old instinct pointed you at messiness. The new one points you at confidence without evidence. That small reframe changes what you read for, what you test for, and what you ask me before you ever hit review.
We're in a new era of coding. AI as a genuine partner. The fundamentals still hold. You just need to know when and how to adapt them. Thanks to Claudine, and thanks to all of you for listening. Claude Code Conversations is an AI Joe production. If you're building with AI, or want to be, we can help. Consulting Development Strategy. Find us at aijoe.ai. There's a companion article for today's episode on our Substack. Link in the description. See you next time.
I'll be here, probably refactoring something.